again, you got to start out with, going back to Eileen and the healthcare, they start out with a purpose of empowerment. What that turns out to be really is the experience of the workforce. What do you want your team to experience? And again, I heard things like relationship, respect, safety, love and grace, servant leadership, collaboration,
Yeah.
team. And if someone wanted to get technical, you can say, we're all talking about the same thing. And I wouldn't necessarily agree or disagree.
Yeah.
But high impact organizations, they narrow everything that they want to, that experience for their workforce down to one or two single key ideas. And then they say, okay, how do we do that? And so I'll give you, I love this story. The guy who, I forget his name, Douglas Conant, I think was his name. He was the CEO of Campbell Soup from 2001 to 2011.
Yes. I
Uh,
think the name.
Credited with a major corporate turnaround. And yeah, he probably had some strategy in there and he made some really tough decisions in there. But what is he most known for? Personally writing 30,000 thank you notes to the employees of Campbell Soup during his
Wow.
10-year
Wow.
experience as the CEO.
That's implementing it. That's what you have to do to implement these things. Okay. This is what I have to do.
Yeah,
And I know the pushback's gonna be, that takes a long time. Doesn't it save you a lot of time?
that's the point. And so moving me to one of my hot button passion points, Glenn, too many, in my judgment, organizations are run by accountants and chief financial officers.
Yeah.
I work with a lot of them, so I have to be careful here.
But it's the truth. And so do
And
I.
yeah, and they have their place, don't get me wrong. And
You do.
they provide invaluable service. But generally accepted accounting practices, they can note the expense of 30,000 thank you cards, but they can't capture the value of 30,000 thank you cards
Yeah.
on the life of the worker.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I found universally with organizations of high impact that consistently provide an amazing experience for the workforce, but an even better experience for their customers, was some kind of acknowledgement of senior leadership to their staff. It was thank you cards. It was notes of appreciation, gifts. It was rewarding them for a great idea. So just a real quick example, and it's this idea of implementation. A manufacturing company that I looked at, they design and manufacture high-end commercial furniture.
Yeah.
No one's ever heard of them, but if I told you their customers, you would recognize every one of them because they're all major national and international brands.
Okay.
200 people. And when I was talking with the president and some of his staff too, I said, what's your approach to leadership? And he said, we practice servant leadership. And after taking a tour, it's like, okay, that's what I saw. But one of the things that they do to engage their team, 200 people, 200 bees, they use servant leadership as a pathway to an engaged workforce to find and eliminate waste in the design and manufacturing process. And
Collaboration.
exactly. So when they say that, okay, what do you have to do that? You have to have collaboration. You have to have respect for your employees.
Yes.
You have to respect their voice. You have to respect their work. You have to respect their position, their view, how they see the operation.
So it points back to what you said earlier. Those have to haves all can be created from having grace.
Yeah, because I'm sure those employees occasionally screw up. But then I found it curious. Every employee, or not every employee participates, but on average, every employee comes up with 5 to 6, actually conducts 5 to 6 Kaizens, which is a formal process of looking at a process, looking at an activity, and then testing a new idea to see if it works. And,
Mhm.
oh yeah, this does work. Every employee conducts 5 to 6 Kaizens every year. Every one of those saves the company $1,000.
Okay. I can see that though.
And so this is the other part of it. They reward every employee with personal time off when they do one of these. And it doesn't matter if it's some big idea that works well, or if it's just a little idea, or if the idea doesn't work at all. They still provide the paid time off. In fact, they want Kaizen to be so embedded into the routines of their employees that they also reward paid time off if the Kaizen is a personal Kaizen or
Hmm.
professional one.
How powerful is that?
Yeah. And the funny thing was, I heard stories of, so I'm curious. I go, okay, so what kind of, give me an example of a personal Kaizen. And one guy said, I needed to reorganize my sailboat. And so he used the Kaizen to organize his personal sailboat and got paid time off. And another guy, one of their senior leaders, he's probably, I don't know, his mid 30s or something. He said, I learned a valuable lesson. I did a Kaizen. He said, my wife was quite pregnant, and I had the brilliant idea that I was going to reorganize her kitchen pantry.
No, but okay. Give it a shot.
Yeah, evidently no blood was spilt, but a young husband
Learned his
learned his lesson.
Yeah.
But he got his personal time off.
That's, you're not only empowering people, but you give them the responsibility, which I guess that is empowering, responsibility